G'day ladies and gents, and welcome back to Seal Club Thunder. Today I'm going to be helping one of my mates grind out his new account. He switched from PlayStation to PC, and he's basically wanted a PC account for a very long time due to store-based issues, which granted, isn't really a Gaijin issue, it's kind of a Sony issue, but he's joined the PC Master Race and wants to get himself some more tankies. So he's doing exactly that. We were playing some 5.7 and we had really bad luck. So I'm like, you know what, screw it. Let's just jump into something that's not quite as high tier because I'm sick of getting absolutely Piper Parried by King Tigers all day. And so we decided to jump into the Stewart because a few weeks ago, Oddbors, who's he's a famous or a well-known War Thunder content creator, he really likes the Stewart. And he's made heaps of few videos. He's streamed it plenty of times. He's had some mad games in the Stewart. Now, this is the M3A3 Stewart, which exists in the Chinese and French trees. Obviously, I've got a Chinese lineup here, so I've got lots of cancer just ready for these guys that are on the enemy team. Now, I'm also going to be playing up against newbies because the way that Gaijin has made it is that you must play 30 battles against AI in arcade and not necessarily in realistic, which kind of baffles me a little bit. The long story short is that players who start to go to air realistic battles, even from arcade, should have to play against bots unless, say, I don't know, they have either a premium vehicle or they have a ridiculous amount of matches in arcade. I don't know. Something like that should probably happen because this is not really fair. I know this map fairly well. In fact, it's one of my favorite maps. And these guys probably don't, which really sucks. And I hope no one else joins this game with having to suffer through the same shit that I'm making these people suffer through. Anyway, with that out of the way, we're going to have a look at the Stewart itself. Now, this thing is 2.3, is ridiculously fast, has a really good shell, and it is also fairly well armored, especially against the 37. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be pushing up through the north here. Oh look, it's a Squeezy Boy. We both managed to land shots, but or at least he manages to land a shot and then I get the last laugh because Squeezy Boy in a close, tight situation really doesn't do too well. And not only that, he didn't manage to hit anything terribly vulnerable. Speaking of terribly vulnerable, I think that's an L3. That little boy there. I've seen one of them in real life, and they really are as tiny as you think. It's kind of incredible. What is also kind of incredible is a duel between the two most armored tanks at this battle rating, aside from, of course, the Shah 1B. So there goes another M3A3 on the French side. He didn't retreat in time, and now it's time to lay the hurt on a poor Panzer 38. Now, I didn't quite realise that the Panzer 38T had that much armour, especially at range, on the turret. So, you might be able to use that to your advantage, but an M3A3 Stewart basically has everything you could want in a low-tier tank. And it sucks that, everything has to face this absolute beast of a tank. Even this little Panzer 38T, again, he's just sitting there, casually, probably wondering what hit him. And there he goes. So, what am I going to do? Now that we've taken B, I'm going to start pushing up the river, but not until we get to I think it's a Kami or a Kani, either one. And it turns out it is the Kami. Look at that. I'm on fire with these Japanese tanks. So, I managed to basically secure an entire flank of the map, which is kind of what you want to do on this map. If you can take that north, then you have basically straightforward firing lines into your opponent's territory. Now, this particular, I believe it was a T60 that got taken out by an L3. Turns out it was the M3, and I'm just blind, but the L3 is also just as blind. Still a very kawaii desu tank, and it is extremely cute, but has to go, unfortunately. Cuteness can't save you now. Speaking of cuteness, something that is not cute is a Panzer 4C. Now, the Panzer 4C is actually a fairly good tank. It has a fairly decent gun, and it also deals a fair amount of damage with a decent penetration. It also, despite not having great armor, is fairly survivable. And there it goes. Oh, it's a Panzer IV F1, which is, I don't know, to me it's a Panzer IV-C. Anything with a short barrel, slap it on the head, Panzer IV-C. There we go. They're one and the same. They function the same way, and it's pretty much, I don't know, maybe you can let me know what the subtle differences are in the comments section. But that's okay, because we're not done with the Sealclubbing yet. I believe that is a Japanese boy, and it turns out it's an Italian boy who got his head chopped off. Who's next? We're going to be pushing up a little bit here on that north flank again, and now it's sort of just a matter of pushing them to their spawn. There's I believe it's a Hargo, and the Hargo, as I understand it, has one commander in the turret, and I managed to shoot the commander, and I think it was the machine gunner, not really sure. Yeah, it's starting to look really grim for the opponents, and there's Dudge in his M3A3. He decided to be a great idea, instead of like grinding and getting kills, to take the river route, and he decided to take the scenic route on the river. Good for him. He's having fun. I'm, I guess, having fun. It's a shame for the enemy team though, because I don't think they're really having fun. I would really love it if they could just, you know, have their own matchmaker, because it's kind of unfair. Or maybe some sort of alt account detector, or, you know, option. Have you played on an alt account, or do you have an alt account? And just, I don't know. It's a free-to-play game. You should be able to make as many accounts as you want, but you get the gist. I think there should be some way of preventing people who are experienced from messing with the experiences of those who aren't as you know, much of a veteran in this game. I think that would be kind of nice. So there's I believe it's a BA65. Those things are absolutely useless at its tier or above its tier. Either way, they're pretty garbage. I would never take them. You should take something else instead. But in saying that, don't actually think I played low tier Italian tanks. So the only real thing that can stop me here is a well placed shot from a Panzer I or a Panzer IV. Those Panzer IIs are, yeah, it's not really pretty. Or the Panzer 38, sorry. It's just really clubby. This thing is awfully clubby. It's very, very strong. It's also got a 30mm on top, which is kind of cool, because that means that you can deal with planes. And at this low tier, you'll get planes that are basically in your gun arc, and you know, that makes it really, really nice and easy. Here he comes. He's going to come straight towards me, and I can just open up with my machine guns. Oh, he's overrolled a little bit. No, he corrected it. There we go. There we go. Maybe I can get a bit of gunfire onto him. I don't really manage to get anything significant. And then I get shot at on the side of the turret, and it bounces. So that really surprised me. I didn't realize that I could survive that sort of thing as that BA65 goes and drops to the floor. So here I am, just sort of lazily exchanging shots. I don't even need to think in this plane, in this tank. It could be a plane if you gave it wings. It's that powerful. But honestly, I really, really think that a few things should change here. Notably, of course, I've been beating this drum since the video started. The teams. The team composition should be mostly bots, and it should sort of wean you into ARB. By the time you get to about 2.3, you should be facing all players, and I think that would be fairly reasonable. If someone has, I don't know, a 2.3 plane, maybe they can sit with the big boys. But until then, I think the best way to get someone into the game would be with this sort of strategy or this method here, just giving them bots. I am a member of one of the Facebook groups that is War Thunder related, and one of the guys, he had just started playing the game, and he'd gotten 5 kills against bots, and obviously he thought they were real players, but regardless, he had the time of his life. He had such a good time clubbing those bots, and honestly, I don't see why there's a problem with that. Screw it. If you really cared, if it was a grind thing, give them half RP. They'll still enjoy it, but the important thing is that they get the hang of the game, so that they can, later on, teach themselves how to fish, so to speak. You know, I don't know, I can't remember the saying. But anyway, after 14 ground kills and 1 air kill, I finally get taken out by an AB-41, but that's practically game over. What a game. And again, a little bit clubby, but again, it shows you the importance of what I'm talking about. Maybe I should make a series, Sealclubbing until Gaijin fixes the problem. Maybe we could do it on Discord, do some stuff like that. You know, I think that would be kind of cool. So maybe join the Discord. The link's in the description below under a link called Streamer Links. That's like a master link, if you will. So if you'd like to do that, maybe jump on the Discord and maybe we can get something organized. We'll see how we go. But 15 kills, absolutely disgusting. And Gaijin, please, I'd love to see this fixed. I think it would be so good. Anyway, ladies and gents, thank you very much for watching. Take care. And I'll catch you next time.